Is Dutch culture racist? Criticism towards the Dutch and their culture has certainly not been a recent thing, but there are people who are convinced that the culture of that in the Netherlands has its roots in racism. But how true is that? Yesterday marked the annual arrival of Sinterklaas in pretty much all Dutch-speaking territories around the globe. In case you are unaware, Sinterklaas is a tradition similar to Christmas and is a celebrated children's festivity where children get to receive candy and presents from a bishop named Sinterklaas. Similar to Santa Claus, Sinterklaas employs helpers, and this is where this story differs a little bit. You see, unlike Santa's elves, Sinterklaas's helpers are Zwarte Pieten, or Black Petes, portrayed by men and women who typically bear a striking resemblance to a black person. Since its inception, the depiction of these Black Petes has seemingly moved more and more towards this black stereotype as time moved on, starting with the picture book Sint Nicolaas en zijn Knecht, published in 1850. In this video, I would like to focus on an article written on this subject by an author named Hiranvi. I will link her article in the video description. Since the article itself is in Dutch, I will give a brief overview of the point that she's making before asserting my own thoughts. Hiranvi opens up with how the discussion on this subject is one that sparks a lot of heated debate each year, and how it's mostly adults who are doing the debating in regards to this children's festivity. I completely agree with this. The discussion of racism in regards to Black Pete is something that has started to overshadow the actual event, and it's actively harming an event to which children are supposed to look forward to each year. It's no secret that because of this debate, the police security surrounding the event has been amped up in order to deal with protesters on either side of the discussion. In my opinion, this is a problem that needs to be addressed. The article goes on to draw a comparison between two neighbors and their disagreement on the land ownership of a small garden section. The crux of this little story being that one of the neighbors is simply too stubborn to move their fence because it's always been this way. Even though I find the story a little bit far-fetched, I understand the moral behind it, that being a short story to illustrate the debate of tradition versus change. What comes next is arguably the only real criticism I have regarding her article, and my reason for making this video, her first mention of the term blackface. Now, of course, I'm not going to defend blackface. It was a horribly racist way of depicting a black caricature in theaters across the United States. But that's exactly the difference. Blackface is not and never was a European tradition, and in my opinion it is unfair to make this assumption. I also feel that while Black Petes definitely look like stereotypes of black people, they are not portrayed as caricatures, or at the very least not anymore. So does this mean that Dutch people are knowingly racist? No, I don't think so. The story of modern-day Sinterklaas is one of goodness. You see, according to the myth, Sinterklaas was a bishop who was known for his good deeds. He frequently bought out slaves, which, among other things, earned him the name of Holy Man. These slaves, however, thankful for their freedom, decided to help Sinterklaas in spreading his message of kindness and all the presents and candy that followed. Of course, this is not the only variant of the story, but this is the version that is commonly agreed upon to represent the bishop and his helpers. What makes Black Pete problematic, in my opinion, is not the fact that he's often portrayed by white people wearing black makeup. It is also the fact that they are portrayed with bright red lips, big golden earrings, and black curly hair. Interestingly, the black makeup is oftentimes explained away by Dutch people, saying that they are black from all the soot since they traditionally climb down the chimneys of houses to bring presents. Of course, they often miss the fact that this does not explain their bright red lips and black curly hair. Over time, the Dutch government has had many attempts at redesigning Black Pete's appearance. A lot of them with mixed results. However, there has been one attempt that stuck out the most, the so-called suit Pete, named this way since he is depicted as a white man or woman with streaks of soot on his face, instead of the traditional all black. This would of course throw a wrench in the popular origin story of the bishop freeing the poor slaves, but if this means that we can have a children's festivity that can be enjoyed by children of all ethnicities, then why not give it a shot? I would also like to stretch that I don't think it's productive to call supporters of the traditional Black Pete racists. It is clear to me that many people have grown up with this tradition, being unaware of the rather racist implications of Black Pete's depiction. To call them racist would only serve to spark more defensive hate and misunderstanding. Getting back to Hiramfi's article, she goes on to write about the connection between racism and sexism, and while certainly an interesting topic, I think I would rather save that for a separate video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my very first video on this channel. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe and click that like button. It would help me out a lot. Until next time!